this is my response video to another video on YouTube called Guns with History, which was put together by an anti-gun group, and I'll put it down in the description. Just go watch it real quick. It's about 3 minutes long. And this is my response to their, real clever tactic of trying to convince people that they're safer without a firearm. Not owning a firearm makes you safer. Stop looking at me. And to that I say bunk. Not true. And here's why. But no, go watch the video and then come back here and I'll talk about it a little bit. So, basically, the idea, what happens in the video is they set up a fake gun store in New York City. And so, and they have this, first-time gun buyers. They're trying to attract people who don't own weapons, which is kind of hard to do in New York anyway. But, and get them in the store and then ambush them, essentially, with their clever tactic. But anyway, so the people come in, and, the dude, I don't know who this guy is. He looks like he could run a gun store, I guess. Anyway, so what he does is he'll, pull out a gun and then talk about some tragedy that did happen, supposedly, with that actual gun, is what they claim. But, they cite four tragedies in the video. Two of them involving accidental child shootings, very young children. The Walmart case, where a mother was killed by, I believe it was like a 2-year-old, reached in her purse and shot her in the head, killed her. And another one where a little 4-year-old killed his 9-month-old baby brother. And that was one of the guns that's supposedly actually in the video. So, and then 2 mass shootings. The 1984 McDonald's mass shooting at San Diego. And, of course, Sandy Hook. Now, so what they do, he pulls out the gun. He says, yeah, this is our most popular model. Yeah, right. And it's also a gun that the 4-year-old killed his 9-year-old brother with. And, people are like, what? Just totally taken back, which they should be. It's a clever emotional trick. And so because of that, because somebody else was irresponsible, you probably irresponsible too. So you should think twice before owning a gun. And at the end of the video, if these people are even real, I suspect there could be a couple of actors thrown in. I'm not sure. I can't say that for sure. But it's just a little suspect. At the end, these people are going, yeah, I don't want a gun. I don't want to own a gun. Boom. They fell for it, right? So what these people are saying, if that's truly how they feel, and truly, what's going through their head, then you're going to allow this group to come in and set up this clever ruse to trick you and, use deception to emotionally ambush you. And at the end of the day, you're going to fall for it. So you're going to fall for what they're saying is, because tragedies happen, you are also too irresponsible to own a firearm. So you should think twice. Because the gun is just an inanimate object. And except for mechanical failure, which rarely happens, and in fact, really doesn't happen. It's usually when a gun blows up in someone's hand, it's because of the mechanical failure is a bad ammunition or something. The gun is just an object, man. It takes a person to be irresponsible to create a tragedy. So these people in the video are like, yeah, maybe I won't own a gun. Then, you're saying I'm too much of an idiot to own a gun. What I would have said to the guy was, when he's pulling it out, hey, this is a gun that killed, a 4-year-old. I would say, does it come with the irresponsible parent? Because that's where the rubber meets the road with firearms and children. And I'm not even talking about locking your guns up. Children should be taught at a very young age to respect a firearm, to understand its power. Kids get that. If they think it's a toy, if they're curious, they're like, wow, what's this? And the gun in the video that kind of looks almost looks like a toy gun, looks like a toy cowboy gun. I can understand why a child wouldn't understand what it is. Children should be taught about firearms. Tragedies happen when you're a parent. If you own a firearm and you treat it like it's something taboo, like it's a chainsaw or something, that kids should never touch. Not true. But this video isn't really about that. I just wanted to throw it in there because, the evidence is there. There's some other really good videos that go way in depth about all that. So, anyway, now, as far as the other two tragedies that are referenced, and this just kills me. Why you shouldn't own a gun because you're going to be less safe. And then he mentions that in 1984 McDonald's shooting, which I think 20-something people were killed by a madman with a firearm, several firearms, and then of course Sandy Hook, same kind of deal. And so the logic is, for these guys, these anti-gunners, the logic is you shouldn't own a firearm because it makes you less safe. And let's cite these two tragedies. Well, you know what stops a bad guy with a gun? A good guy with a gun. Period. And that's what happened in the McDonald's case, at least. The Sandy Hook guy killed himself. Adam Lanza. But in the McDonald's case, in 84, he was, he finally was stopped by a police sniper. Good guy with a gun. But the damage had already been done. And, if I was the relative of one of those victims, or if, whatever, in that McDonald's situation, or Sandy Hook, for that matter, I would have wanted somebody there, a responsible person with a firearm. That's what I would have wanted. Because a lot less people would have gotten killed. Because, most people, once the bad guys, when these maniacs create this stuff, first of all, they pick on easy targets, right? They don't want to deal with people that know what they're doing or will fight back. Right? They don't want that. So, just presenting a firearm, some guy walks into a McDonald's with a shotgun or AR or whatever, just presenting them with a challenge is going to save lives right off the bat. And, that's just a fact. Because that guy is, he's either going to engage you, or whoever's the good guy with the gun is, he's going to engage them. He's not going to turn his back, or he's going to run. He's going to leave, or he's going to engage. And if he's engaging you, then, even whatever, everybody, both people get shot, he's not running around. The McDonald's case, that guy was there for 74 minutes, and he kept finding people. These 18, 19-year-old kids that work there, man, huddled in a closet somewhere or a cooler. He kept finding little pockets of people that didn't get out but, stayed in place because they were scared to death, you know. That wouldn't have happened if a good guy with a gun had been in that McDonald's that day. Same thing at Sandy Hook. So it's ridiculous for these people to even suggest that owning a gun makes you less safe. Me owning a gun makes my neighbors more safe. Okay? Absolutely, 100%. Even though I've got a 3-minute response time, 3 to 5 minutes response time with my police in my town, a lot of things can happen in 3 minutes. So, them referencing that and making that point, and then on top of it to say, their whole message being, because other people are irresponsible, well, then everybody's irresponsible because you're human. And these are leftists, and that's kind of how they think. You can't be trusted. You're human. People can't own guns. Children will die. And by the way, the number one cause of death for young children are car accidents. Automobile accidents kill and injure more kids every year than just about anything else. It doesn't even come close. Now, a lot of that is from irresponsible people. A tremendous amount of those deaths are from one of the two drivers, some driver being irresponsible or mechanical failure. We don't ban cars. We don't talk about getting rid of cars. We don't go around saying, you know what? A lot of kids die in cars every year. Maybe you shouldn't drive a car. If you have kids, you shouldn't be driving. We don't do that. But that's the logic. It's the same logic. So, that's my response to their video. I think it was a very clever tactic, but it is fallacious as hell. And I'm sorry to those people in those videos. I'm sorry you fell for that. And you know what? If you are an irresponsible person, then you shouldn't own a firearm. Because they are very dangerous in the hands of idiots. If you're an idiot and you're irresponsible, then you shouldn't. But if you are thinking about getting a gun, you should go take an NRA, like basic NRA safety class, basic pistol. That should be a part of your investment. It costs $50, $100, something like that. But I think that's a better way to approach it. I like the real gun shop with the real gun people that will say, yeah, I'll sell you this gun and you should go take this class. Because it's not something to be afraid of. It's a lot, once again, like a car. If you're scared to death to drive a car, you're probably going to wreck it. If you're scared to death of a gun, then you probably shouldn't own one. But most people do okay with it. Even, everybody's a little tentative at first, but once you get to handle it and build confidence, owning a gun's a good thing, and it will make you more safe. And it'll make you a better, more confident person as well. So, I don't know. That's all I have to say about it. And thanks for watching, guys.